Let me get water. What up? Streaming again. Let me get water. Straight from the sink. Because they tell us the tap water here is really, really fucking good. I don't know. As you can see, we are not making a lot of progress. Starting to get a little dire, but it is what it is, right? I put myself in this. I dug my own grave. Gonna stream for a bit. I have plans to watch anime with Zach at 7, which is 3 hours from now. So a 3-hour stream is what we're expecting to see here. That's fine. I will be stopping it when we watch anime, because last time I watched anime on stream, like one of these live streams, I'm pretty sure it got flagged and deleted and everything was gone. Like, it didn't just cut out that section, it just fucking removed it, the entire stream. That sucked. I'm not doing that again. I am... Yeah, what up, man? I guess it's 5th of July now. Yesterday was 4th of July. I literally normally would not comment on the fact that it happened, but... well, you see, they weren't kidding when they say one act of kindness will never be forgotten, huh? It might not have even come across as an act of kindness on their end, but to me, I've never been invited to watch the fireworks by a girl. So, yeah, it was Rachel Quash from last year. She was an intern in the CIV team. This year, she's not on our team anymore, but she's on a different team. But she is still interning, and so she's in town. And just out of the blue, 9 p.m. yesterday night, she was like, "Hey, you planning to go see the fireworks in Bellevue?" I was like, "No. Do you want me to come?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, sure." And so yeah, we just hung out for 2.5 hours, I guess. It was about midnight when we parted ways, I suppose, yeah. Genuinely, like, never before has anyone done that for me. But I can't imagine it's all that weird to anyone else, right? Individuals like me, I guess we just weren't meant to be. So, I will not forget that, because I will not forget this gesture for, like, ever, I swear. But it also cannot mean anything more than just a gesture of, like, friendliness, I feel, because she doesn't live in town. Like, we were not gonna be able to see each other in general. It's just for this next month or so that she'll be here. Yeah, you know, I'm like reasonable about things. Like, I am probably semi of an anomaly as a person who does not go outside often and thus does not have opportunities to talk to and meet people in general. So it kind of made me feel things, just like, it was nice, and I know that I want this somewhere, somehow. Like, I want something like this, right? But I don't know how to actually attain it. Like, I feel like this is at least enough indication that I am not that much of a freak, that, like, I'm unlikable, right? Because some person who I really haven't spoken to much, like, I've spoken to them maybe 3 different times since they came back this summer. Because, like, we're not on the same team anymore, so we really don't have any actual reason to talk to each other. But the fact that they're, like, friendly enough to invite me out still goes to show, in my eyes at least, that it's like, yeah, if I do get an opportunity to hang around people, I'm not disliked generally. I'm not considered like some freak of nature. I'm like, I've been pretty candid too when I talk to her. Like, I don't hide that I'm a weeb and into, like, I told her about Uma Musume when we were just chatting. I was like, "Yeah, what have you been up to? Right? You watch any shows?" I told her, "Oh, I'm gonna watch Arknight's anime with my friend because, like, based on precedence, this anime is probably not gonna be good, but it's more fun to watch it with someone, right?" And then I went to go on and tell her about, "Oh, I got into a new gacha, Uma Musume, right?" And thinking about it, last year I told her about Toho Project, which she also thought was like weird, I guess. But I've been candid. Like I'm not like hiding anything. I'm not like I'm just honest about I am a weeb. I like this kind of shit, right? I'm into this. And like I don't know. It hasn't been like a problem as far as I can tell. It's just she's not a weeb, for mind you. Like I figured that out real fast when I asked her if she had heard about Freerun before last year. Like when she was an intern, we talked a little bit, and she was like, "Oh, like I was like, oh yeah, I like watching anime or so. At least I like anime aesthetics type of shit." And she's like, "Oh yeah, I like watching anime. Like, have you heard of Freerun?" And she was like, "No." When last year when she was interning, Freerun is like in its heyday, pretty much still. Like it was a little bit after it finished airing all of its stuff, so it was still getting a fuck ton of art and all that everywhere. Having not heard of Freerun, I just based on that alone, I could tell she wasn't actually much of a weeb, right? But still, it's kind of whatever. It is just kind of funny to me. But yeah, we watched the fireworks, which happened at 10. So she messaged me at 9 on Slack, because that's like our only way of communicating at the moment. I think technically she has my phone number now because I gave it to her for Zell. Right, and the reason for Zell is because we went to the Indian Bollywood Cafe or whatever, which is near the park that the fireworks were at after, because, rush hour. It's not rush hour, it's 4th of July traffic, because every motherfucker and their parents came out to look at the fireworks for 20 minutes, and then all of them now have to go, and she didn't want to deal with that, so she's like, hey, why don't we, like, just find a place to like hang out and just wait for the traffic to tide over because she had to call a Lyft to go. So yeah, we hung out there, and yeah, obviously it was easier to just have me pay for the food and she sold me. Technically, she has my phone number, but I don't think we're gonna use it. I also have her LinkedIn, which I also don't use my LinkedIn, and we didn't communicate a single time throughout the year via LinkedIn because there's no reason to when you're not here, right? It's the kind of thing where it's like, if it wasn't for the proximity, I would actually be trying harder to be a friend to this person. As it currently stands, it's like, I won't do anything that would like be an issue as far as friendship goes, but what is the real value to befriending someone who I can only see once a month every year at most? And that is assuming they come back next year, which they very well may not. They're also going into senior year, which means they'll actually be going for full time in the future. But I don't even know if I'm gonna be here next year. The way CIV team's going and everything, like I don't know if I'm gonna be here long term either. And that whole deal about not knowing what's coming next is a big part of the reason why I don't know if I'm gonna be committing to uh it's hard for me to commit to wanting to do anything that needs time to build up, I feel. Because if I start and then just have to leave because I'm laid off and this is no longer where I'm gonna be, it feels like it would have just been a waste of my time and effort, which I know is not the right way to think about it because I haven't really done this building up experience and relationship type thing in general. So it could be considered a test run, if anything. Like I can do it, and if I fuck up here, whatever, I'll just leave, right? I might have to leave anyways, kind of deal. But it's also hard to not just think, well, what if I do just waste my time, right? As an individual, I always think about just how limited our time on this planet is. And what am I really doing with my time? I'm in my mid 20s now. We're heading towards late 20s. I haven't kissed a girl ever. I've never even dated, let alone anything farther than that, right? I am, strictly speaking, I have missed out on a lot of these developmental milestones as a person, I feel. And I think it's like the longer I wait, the less acceptable it feels to be missing out on this. Like, at least if I get a shot at it sometime soon, I have more. At least I have had that chance, right? That experience once now, even if it fucks up and I have to try again later. But I haven't even gotten to that point yet, is the problem. Like, it's not even. So, I don't know. It's hard. I'm just not sure what I'm supposed to do sometimes, brother. The anxious generation. I also mentioned that she was in the only reason she was here was because she was shopping in Bellevue, right? And like decided she heard I guess she somehow heard about the fireworks and decided let me check them out and was like probably was like, oh hey, Kengi like lives here, right? Why don't I ask him to just hang out if he's open? Well, that's almost certainly what happened. Um, she buy most of the stuff she bought was like the clothes, but she also bought like 2 books, which was we talked a little bit about books too. It's funny, bookstore, right? I went to the bookstore a little while back and I bought The Anxious Generation, which I have only just barely now started reading, mind you. I why did I buy that book? I don't know, but I think the book itself is actually a good read and I definitely need to read it. I just haven't. I just haven't. That's all, man. It almost certainly will be good to have as like a thing that I have read at some point. It's just I haven't gotten there yet. Brooklyn is a little bit more yellow, I think. Um, excuse me. Okay. White hair always looks wrong until you start shading it, so I'm not sweating it right now. White hair is like the most prone to needing shading before it starts to look like it's anything correct. This, on the other hand, the skin, the initials usually should already look decent. So I might be doing something off here, we'll see. Alright, this is acceptable for the time being. There's not a lot of references for like medium darker skin types because, you know, most anime girls are pale as fuck. I don't know if this is right, but I'm gonna pull this out a little bit. Feels like the shade here should be a little bit like more elongated, right? I don't know. I'm gonna try it. We'll see if it works or looks good. Doesn't look bad. It's fine. Alright, so I said I would do init skins, right? Which we have done now for the front 3 girls. I think now we do init hair. Did I want to give Helena a hairpin or something else? Let me look through my references. Or just like general art I've saved and see if there's any hairpins or hair pieces that look kind of cute that I can borrow the idea of, at least. Let me check. Cinderella. That Cinderella character from Nikki always gets me because I think it's Kiev, but the hair is flipped, like covers the other eye, not the same side as Kiev. And also Cinderella like has huge tits. It's not Kiev, but they otherwise have the same like white hair, one eye cover, red eyes, and like I don't know. It tricks me in like the first second I look at it. Pisses me off. Kiev never gets any fan art, dude. What about this? Two-souled hair. There's not a lot of references. What about maybe let me check the Blue Archive. What's it called? The Blue Archive channel that I have. Maybe some of these outfits. Maybe some of this like shading. I can steal the rendering from this. A moon hairpiece. I mean, like Helena's hairpieces have historically always just been the like it's just the simple piece, right? Do we want to give her anything special? Do we just do that? Where's her identification number? She has a hat. She doesn't need a hairpiece, to be fair. I guess that makes sense. We don't need to give her any hairpieces because she does have a hat. Her little SSG crystals are around her neck. What about you? What are you thinking, sir? My good fellow. This net is gonna be... fortunately, like 95% of the net is off screen, so we actually don't need to draw much. It's probably not gonna be too bad. Let me drink water. Okay. But yeah, I'm so lonely, man. Yeah, another thing that makes me think that I might be particularly lonely is right now in Uma Musume, I think the character that I like most, that I have at least, is Mayano Tapagun. And like a big part of her characteristic is just that she like loves the trainer, I think. And she like acts like a bubbly, cute girl towards you. Yeah, I think I am genuinely very lonely. I'm almost certain about it. Oh well. What can I say, man? Is this right? Or should I choose a different hair color? How blue do I make her hair? Helena's hair is pretty blue. I think this is fine. I'm gonna try to use that one's half-finished Helena swimsuit as my color reference this time. Because that one's also in like summer sun time-esque. She's so happy. I love Helena. She looks so happy in this picture. Dear Helena. I just want to be happy, man. I don't know if I'm gonna do another one of these contest pieces. I feel like it may be catching up to me. This year has been the worst of all in terms of progress. I don't think this drawing is gonna be bad. In fact, this one might be like second best, if anything. Third, or it might be second best. I don't think this is gonna beat year one as far as like my personal satisfaction with it. But it probably won't be a bad drawing, at least, you know. Okay. I'm gonna copy this Amiya who has a straw hat for how to render the hair, the hair around here. So there is going to be a portion that is just shaded by the hat, right? Helena's hair is more round, not as tousled as Amiya's in this picture at least, so we're going to 100% copy the same style of rendering, it doesn't matter. Ha 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 ha! Yeah. Bum ba da ba 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 bum bum ba ba dum bum ba 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 bum 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 ba bum ba dum ba ba bum 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 ba da ba bum bum bum. See, while I think my situation is somewhat dire, I guess it could be worse, right? I could be like Fathom, who's like 30 plus, and I'm pretty sure he has also never been with a person before. I'm no shade on him because I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say he's an entirely respectable individual. He has very lolicon tendencies, but at the same time, I'm not like a huge judge about that because I get it. Personally, I don't actually have much of an issue with people being lolicons. I'm just saying a lot of people do. For me personally, I mean, I feel like if anything, I have some lolicon tendencies, or at least I did in the past when I was younger. And I don't think that's entirely unreasonable. I just think it's, not growing out of it is a bit odd, perhaps. When I say a while ago, I mean when I was like 16. I say Elise Fire Emblem is one of my favorite characters ever. At least back in the day, she definitely was. And I still draw her on the yearly, even if my drawings of her suck ass. This year it was kind of bad for her. I pretty much only draw her on her birthday at this point. because like Helena is my main girl that I draw. I at least still draw her. Like I don't even draw Aya or Sagame like ever anymore. Even though they're still good, I still like them. I'll still retweet art of them, but I just don't devote any of my own drawing time to the two of them. Okay, this is going to be a large shade segment, I guess. I don't think this looks right. Okay. I am doing this wrong. Give me a minute. So I cut this like flat. I cut this flat. And then bald people should be euthanized. Japanese Twitter when they saw Northern Lion's clip of him laughing at Rice Shower being euthanized at the age 6. Bald people should be euthanized. Such hater energy, dude. Uma Musume has been amazing. I can't like stress it. I wasn't trying to hate on the game ever because I always could see why it was popular and why people liked it, even before I like played it myself. Because I just didn't want to play the Japanese client. I wouldn't have been opposed to trying it earlier, otherwise. If they never made an English client, I probably never would have played it, but they did, and now I'm here. But like genuinely, it's good because it's not just the game that's good. Really, what makes this one so much better than Azur Lane in my eyes is the community aspect. Azur Lane has no good community jokes. The only one that exists that isn't just based on a generic trope, right? Okay. I was thinking about this. Azur Lane characters are mostly cookie cutter molds that fit into a certain trope, and that's the extent of their character development largely. So they rarely have any special like meme or like thing that you can make jokes about that isn't just applicable to everyone in the same character archetype as them. The only sort of exception that I can think of right away is Essex with her lemons. Lemon, like, eating weird shit isn't necessarily like an uncommon trope, I guess, per se, but it's not like the most common thing, right? And like straight raw dogging lemons is pretty much the only meme that I feel like exists for an Azur Lane character that isn't just applicable to everyone in a similar trope. And in fact, Essex as a character is kind of like a more proud, dignified type of character. She just is made by the community to have this silly meme side. So in character, Essex probably wouldn't actually do any of this technically. Although I think by now the community, with the way the community treats her, the way that the writers and stuff portray her has also been slightly modified, maybe retconned a bit to also encompass some of the sillier side of the things. This is still almost never actually noticeable because the game doesn't focus on these old characters. It focuses on the new characters for the one event they're around and then never again, right? The only reason I say that about the Essex thing is because she at least does get featured every once in a while in like say the Valentine's shorts or like anniversary event, that kind of like specific scenarios that are like about Azur as a whole. Enterprise often gets featured and Essex alongside her, so that is a thing. That is a thing. However, it is not like the norm, I suppose. Basically, very few other characters ever have an opportunity to be featured in this way. And yeah, like I was saying, meme-wise, Essex is pretty much one of the only memes that exists. The other memes that do exist are largely sexual innuendos, like night battles, or like, oh, the look at the glorious stern of XYZ character, and it's like a picture of the real ship, or it's a picture of their ass, one way or another. It kind of just depends who posted it, I suppose. But you know what I mean, right? Like that's pretty much the extent of the humor. The only other thing that I can think of right now is formidable fat, or heavy at least. She's not like visually fat, but she is somehow considered heavier than other ships. I guess her real counterpart was like absurdly heavy, maybe. I don't know. The point is, Azur Lane community kind of has no jokes that are actually good. While even in this short time that I've been with Uma Musume, I have gotten so many jokes. There's so much that's like, oh, this horse was like this in real life, and that is why our gold ship is a fucking menace, right? Like these kinds of things are funny even to people outside of the community, let alone for like building community as a whole. People in the community love it because they can identify with that thing that they like and not feel ashamed about it. And it's also like because it is something that other people outside the community find funny, they very well can just share they feel like they much more open to sharing their interest in said thing. With Azur Lane, there is nothing I can really share with other people. Like I'm not opposed to letting people know that I play Azur Lane actually. I tell people that. I tell people I draw Azur Lane. But that's about as far as I can go with it because why do I do it? Well, I just like Helena. And why do I like Helena? Because I'm a lonely fucker. You know? Like, there's basically no depth to Azur Lane as a whole. And, like, no real appreciation that I can bring for people outside of this circle that already has it. As opposed to Momusume or even Arknights. At least people can like gush about how the fits go hard in Arknights. Like if you like Xenoblade aesthetic, you probably like Arknights aesthetic. That kind of shit. Especially Xenoblade 3 matches up with Arknights a lot more than 2. I don't know. It's just like this kind of thing. Azur, like, okay, think about it. Arknights has some insane PVs as well. Like those videos that they show for like the anniversary or like special events. Some of those are really fucking well animated, genuinely amazing shit. And yeah, even people who don't play the game can recognize and appreciate that. Azur Lane basically doesn't even get these PVs. I assume it's budget constraints, but like what would you even animate? Like, a lot of the fans are in here for the jiggling tits and shit, which you already get from the Live 2D. And to be fair, the Live 2D, like, technology that Azur applies is probably pretty cutting edge. But it's also literally causing some of the skins to not work on, like, for the newer updates anymore on these older devices. It's so fucking stupid. Like, what the fuck could you possibly be doing that requires us to use a newer version of this phone to actually be able to run anything? It's something about like the ARM compiler, which is honestly ridiculous that it goes this deep. Like it just straight up cannot handle the new skins. They said in a tweet about this issue, I think, somewhere I saw this issue, and the solution was literally just disable Live 2D for the things that cannot handle it, which is not a solution, mind you. This is all the new Live 2D skins. Dynamic still works, but Live 2D does not. If they make a Live 2D Helena skin, like, I'll still buy it, but I very well may not be able to actually fucking use it. Like another Live 2D Helena skin. And to be fair, the swimsuit Helena skin is kind of like a mid Live 2D. Compared to a lot of the Live 2Ds they have, that one, I just do not feel like it had that much effort put into it. Which is shitty because it's for my girl, my goat, my dear. I don't like the swimsuit skin that much. The outfit is okay from a sex appeal standpoint, right? Because it is pretty generous on the skin and it's like well rendered, all that stuff is fine, but the animations aren't good and the outfit as a whole I feel is uninspired. I said it's good from a sex appeal standpoint, but honestly, if you've seen some of the swimsuit skins that do exist in the game, I feel like they really should and could have done much better with making it like an actual design instead of just being a skimpy like a really skimpy swimsuit. Like I'm not saying no to it per se, but I'm saying I would hope for better. I'm like what comes to mind immediately is like Amagi, right? Amagi's swimsuit skin is really hot. Let me pull up a picture of it. It's hot. It's such a good swimsuit skin, right? But it's also like visually like stimulating in a sense. It just got a lot going on. Here, take a look. Let me copy the picture. Take a look. Look at that shit, brother. Look at that shit. It's hot. Don't get me wrong. Like this is sex appeal out the ass. But there's so much going on with this. You see? Like you see the vision, right? I'm not crazy for thinking this is a better skin than this in terms of like design. Right? And then mind you, this skin came out like early Azur Lane. This skin was like 2 years ago. So it's much later. This was early in the days. Is this Leduc? Who's the artist for Magi? Let me check. Where the fuck is it? Yeah, it's Leduc. It's crazy, man. This is such a good skin. It's much better of a skin, in my opinion, as like far as design stuff is concerned, than what they gave Helena. Obviously, I like Helena more, so I bought Helena's and I did not buy this one. Like that's not the question here, though. It's like seriously, this skin is stunning. There's so much to look at here. Maybe it is just visual vomit. I don't know. It's so good. It's so hot. Helena's is not like Helena's is hot too, but it's just Helena is like the only part of this to be appreciated. While this has all sorts of stuff, right? That's my gripe with the Helena skin. Now I know what you're gonna say. Oh, like these skins aren't anything special. These aren't skins. These are outfits that are meant for like a singular frame, and there's okay, 3 big characters and another 4 behind them. There's 7 total characters that I gotta draw. I don't think every single like okay, this is another thing about art, which is the density of detail. You want to control the density of detail so it's relatively balanced throughout the piece and also isn't too much and too cluttered. When you have this many characters, you shouldn't put as much detail on each individual character, otherwise it will like cluster the screen too fucking much. I'm pretty sure this is a thing. At least that's the way that I would justify my choices. Now I could be just like speaking out of my ass completely, but I don't think I don't think it's wrong to be doing it the way that I'm doing it. Is all I'm saying. Less detail because there's already more characters to deal with, and also extra like detail. What does that even mean, right? I don't know. Like part of what made the Amagi skin good wasn't the outfit, it was just the background. And there's already a background here. That's part of the design of everything. My drawings aren't good anyways. It's not like I'm a good artist. People who think I'm a good artist simply don't see the peaks of art on Twitter. There's so much good art out there. I am like bottom of the barrel. And that's saying something, I feel, because I know I'm not actually terrible or bad. I'm just not that good either. I'm self-aware enough to realize that I'm already fairly solid, and that's the fucking scary part, is that like, dude, how did you all get to the point where you're at? Like, you guys are insanely good. Because, like, this is already considered really fucking good by the layman's standards. But for the average consumer just scrolling Twitter, they're not like gonna be impressed by my art. They're only gonna like it if it's something that they like, you know, their favorite characters or whatnot. It's never the art itself that appeals to people, I feel. It's just the subject matter. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like that might be the case for Vane, for me in my eyes nowadays. Back in the day, I thought Vane's art was stunning for a while. But the newer pieces that Vane has put out, he doesn't put out very much to begin with anymore, but I feel like most of the newer stuff has not wowed me. The last time I can really remember being like kind of pretty damn impressed with the thing that he did was an Arlecchino, I think. It looked pretty good, the Arlecchino, but that was like 2 years ago now? I don't even know, bro. Like Fontaine was still relevant at that time. That shit was so long ago. I was still playing Genshin, you know, like, yeah. Bro puts out like 5 pieces a year max, and I don't even know if he's gonna do that this year. Okay, actually, I'm pretty sure he already has put out 5, because he put out like a batch, but a lot of the times the things that he does put out are commissions. They're just commissions that happen to be characters that are popular enough that he thinks is worth posting. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not trying to rag on him as an artist. I think the reason that this phenomenon has occurred isn't because he is getting worse or something, but because he is getting hella fucking pressured to constantly create art. He works as a freelance artist taking commissions to pay bills and also lives in fucking California. Ain't the cost of living there ridiculous? Like, how do you. I do not understand how he actually manages to even do what he does at all, let alone like for multiple years on end. It just seems utterly insane to be able to pay rent off of your art, let alone all of your other like needs. It's just so much money that you need. Like cost of living is so ass in this country. But particularly California, Seattle, any of these bigger state cities. Washington, I suppose. But like, yeah, it's just like crazy to me that he's even able to do it. So I think like in my eyes, the reason that his art isn't as impressive or stunning is simply because he is no longer drawing simply because he loves to do it or like is doing it off of like inspiration and ideas, but he is doing it out of necessity. And so he has no time to really experiment, try new things and like push himself. Because you know, I've heard it before. We probably all heard it before. Once you start taking commissions as an artist consistently, you probably stop improving. Or at least your improvement slows down a lot. This is what like Nyahalo said. I believe them. Nyahalo. They improved super fast. They're super good, and yet, like, if they start taking commissions, anyone starts taking commissions, it starts to pigeonhole you into a certain way of drawing. You just have to keep doing the same thing consistently because that is what you know how to do and know you can deliver. Your clients probably want your style, so you can't iterate and experiment randomly with clients' commissions. The alternative that you can do is maybe requests, like Ariko, the free requests. You can experiment on free requests because they're not paying for it. So they don't have any real control over the product at the end of the day. You're doing it entirely of your own free will. And honestly, like I don't think anyone should ever be mad if you reject or like if you say you'll do these requests and then you just end up saying, sorry, I can't. I don't have the time to. Like I don't think anyone reasonably should ever be mad at that. Because you were never paying it for it to begin with. Your obligation to it was entirely of their goodwill. And so, if there is any reason for their own sake that they can't do it or don't want to do it anymore, that is entirely acceptable. In my eyes, that's how it should be. Obviously, people on the internet are like insufferable fucking morons, so I feel like someone will raise a stink about it. Not everyone. Some people will think like me, I'm sure. But there will be stinkers, and that's why at the end of the day, it's like, I don't want to do requests because I don't think I could promise that I would be consistent with anything, nor would I be able to do my own art if I were doing requests. Like, I'm not that fast of an artist. I have limited time in this world, and I have many things that I wish to make some contribution towards at some point in my life. Right. All this adding up, I basically don't think I have time to actually do requests ever. And so I may one day, if I ever feel confident enough, maybe I would open requests, but that's not today, that's not tomorrow, it probably won't be for a long time, if ever. Yeah, that's just the lay of the land right now, as far as my art's concerned. I want to get better. I want to improve. I always want to, but I also don't have the diligence and like studying capacity and like all of that to actually get better. I have no one to blame but myself for this, and I kind of have a pretty solid understanding of why I haven't improved in all these years. So I'm not pissed or like pressed. Obviously, I'm not that pressed. If I wanted to really improve that much, I would have pushed myself to actually do the things that I believe would improve my art, right? It's just it takes effort, and I have not been willing to put in said effort. That's all, right? It's on me. That's all. When does Nier get good? Does he know? Our creators abandoned us. So there's like some Uma Musumes, I guess, that never. My shoulder kind of hurt. Alright, we've been at it for what, half an hour? Like, that's progress in half an hour, I suppose. This looks aight as an initials. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, doubling down might not be the play, but we will increase the darkness of the shadow that I just put on. Did I just call it shadow? I pronounce things however the fuck I feel at that moment, I swear. Whee! Did I ever mention that I won the HoloRes art contest? I think I might have talked about it. The HoloRes art contest that I thought more people would participate. I don't think we even got 20 participants this year. I got $75 for it. That's 1 week of groceries. Like, it's nothing, but I swinging maestro. Swinging maestro. Okay, we're getting distracted by Discord messages. Next up, Boise. Just swing my shoulders around a bit because I'm gonna die, bro. We have to do that thing. Okay, give me your eyes. What the fuck? Yeah, give me that. Like that, right? That's fine. The Azur Lane Artist Lounge has a Uma Musume gotten post there. I don't recognize the artist. Hard Boiled Chicken. I don't recognize that name. The Azur Lane Artist Lounge is genuinely hilarious. Cause nine out of 10 arts there are not Azur Lane. Like, it's so corny. Nobody posts Azur in this Discord. Like, it happens on occasion, but genuinely almost everything is just some other fucking fandom. Also, not a single person this year posted about. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say nobody posted about their art contest piece. Hoops posted. Hoops a lot. Their style is really unique. Um, like it's very angular. Yeah, it's super unique. It's good. I think it's good. Oh, I was saying nobody posted it. This guy posted it. Okay, that background looks pretty solid. Sketched. It's not like finished, but it looks solid for where it's at. That was posted 3 days ago. Keijirion, the HoloRes like owner, was only informed of the contest by me, like a week ago, I think. But he was saying he was trying to make a push to participate because he's wanted to in the past. He didn't last year because I don't know, some shit happened with his life and he just couldn't. And the year prior, I'm pretty sure his entry got like disqualified, if I had to guess, because it was the wrong aspect ratio, which I guess maybe they didn't make it clear enough or something at the time, but it's supposed to be landscape. He did a vertical image. It's supposed to be landscape. Okay, where is Boise? How do I shade your hair, Boise? What up? What up? Oh, Boise. Crazy. Boise crazy. She's not. She's very wholesome and sweet. What am I doing? So she also has a hat similar to Chen, Arknights. That's the one I'm basing her hat design and everything off. Well, hat design, I guess. The outfit's not. So, with that in mind, do I want it more saturated or not? Yeah, I do. Less than that, though. Okay, this is fine. We'll use this for our init. So basically, this part right here is going to be in shade because it is underneath her cap. Cap like Oguri. Cap means peak, by the way. I guess her skin's also gonna need it, but we can add that later. Let me check the reference. Right, so like shadows, as mentioned before, do not need to be photorealistic by any means. They just need to fit compositions. I think having the shadow hang above her eye makes more sense. Just like halfway through her eye. What do you think? What's your opinion on this? Because if so, I will do it. What do you think? I mean, Helena's is hanging much farther up than Boise's, if anything. right? Something like this is probably good. I can adjust later, but for now it's fine. And we'll need a Terminator when we get around to having those. And the tips can be lighter because that's just how it is. Aishin Flash. She's got a good name. Azur Lane has nothing to differentiate itself outside of its sex appeal, and even that is like an arms race. Plenty of other gachas are Nikki, Brown Dust, or whatever the fuck that one is. Like, plenty of other gachas are trying to do as much as Azur, if not more. And I'm gonna be real with you, as long as their gameplay is even like half decent, they already won. Azur Lane gameplay is nothing to set itself apart. And I think a big part of the issue is also, even if they wanted to improve it, there's a solid chance that there will be pushback from our Gunner retard community. Because the Gunner people that are into it specifically for waifus and gooning and nothing else will probably not want to play a game. So if they try to add gameplay that is like tactical or some whatever, like I'm thinking like, oh, what if they like make like Fire Emblem, but it's Azur Lane kind of deal. Like if they do try to do some kind of like tactical shit with their just whole system and make it more complicated and like interactive, then it won't be auto battleable, right? So either they have to make this an optional thing and just make it a side mode, in which case why would they put effort into it? Or if they make it the main thing, it'll be such a deviation of the current gameplay core that it will like make players just complain and then they'll never do it again because these dumb fucks don't want to play a game. And to be fair, I myself am only keeping up with Azur right now because it is low effort. If it took more like efforts to actually clear shit, like even if it was just on par with say Arknights, there's a good chance I would also be complaining. So I don't know. Like, what even is the solution at that point? You've cultivated a fan base that doesn't actually want to play a game, while also making your game ignore the precedence and like historical relevance of a lot of the ships that you put into it before. And you wrote a nonsensical story that like it's impossible to follow if you haven't been devoted to it for the past 8 years. Like genuinely, bro, it's a train wreck, isn't it not? It's funny that I say all this while drawing for the contest. It's like at the end of the day, I still like specific parts of Azur Lane. And I will draw for those parts when I feel like it. But I don't like Azur as a whole entirely, right? There is definitely aspects of it that I just do not think are good enough. And I want it to be better because of the things that I already have attachments to. I want those things to have an opportunity to flourish, but I don't think it will ever. To be frank with you, I don't think Azur's going to be recovering anytime ever. It is too far gone, and there's way too much money that would need to be put into it to change it around to like, and the image that it already has is probably too damning for it to be able to do this to begin with, no matter what they try. So I don't know. I said I would be willing to try Azur Promelia, and while that is sort of still true, I very much do not think I would actually want to play that game long term, based on what I can see about it and like know about it. I think that game is going to be one that I try just to see what it's about and then drop very fast. I feel like it's gonna be like a... I'm willing to try on the basis of Manju being the devs, but I very much don't expect it to be good enough to be worth playing. It's not going to be as good as Genshin in its heyday, like the first time I ever played Genshin, you think about that. Those first couple of hours, days, weeks, even like maybe weeks, were pretty magical. Genshin was really, really unique and like good for its time. And then other gachas started to come out that were like it and did things better than Genshin. But I didn't even want to play those because they still had too much similarity to Genshin. The main thing I hate about Genshin is the artifact system, which I guess you could argue I'm a hypocrite for that because the legacies in Uma Musume are basically just artifacts, but even more RNG, I think. Like, yeah, the legacies in Uma Musume are bullshit, to be fully frank with you. The amount of RNG you need to get a good one is just incredible. But it's probably still about similar to a Genshin artifact. And careers are just a natural thing you do anyways to begin with, so I don't know. Like Genshin, you have to go out of your way to farm for the artifacts, and then like a new set comes out that invalidates your old one. At least in Uma Musume, once you have a set, like Legacy, you can just keep using it for every single horse that it's compatible with. You can use it for anyone, it's just some horses will benefit more from it, I guess. The compatibility, I believe, I've read a comment that said race in more G1 races to get better compatibility. So it sounds like you can actually improve general compatibility just by doing that. So even though like characters like Bakshin don't fucking have compatibility with anyone naturally, you can still make them better and more usable on everyone. But you don't. The other thing is you don't need to use any specific character to make a good legacy. You just need to use a character and clear so that you have the best sparks. And so it's like anything that you want to use can be used to farm for these. It's a passive thing. You're not meant to get the best thing in the game right off the bat, I suppose. With artifacts, it's like you have to settle pretty much always. Because there's resources, extra resources that have to go into rolling something after you get it. With sparks, it's like you play the game and then you're rewarded with this thing that fucking most of the time is gonna suck ass, I guess. But on the chance that it's good, it will now be something you can just use forever. And you can borrow other people's. That's actually probably the biggest difference that I would say makes it more tolerable. So in order to get a good spark, you need get a good legacy, you already need to have two prior legacies that are decent because they feed into it, and then now that legacy is a combination of all three. So you need two priors that are good, but you can borrow other people's. So you can just borrow like a whale or like look at the top one rank person and like just steal their horse. They're incentivized to make theirs good because what people want to, if you people borrow that, then they get rewards for it. So they want people to borrow their shit. So they actually are incentivized to help out in that way. And so I can borrow one, and that cuts the amount that I need to have that's good down by one already, which is 50%. Like, I've gotten much better sparks ever since I started borrowing people because I just start off better with stronger shit. I clear more easily, and then my like legacy has one that's already really fucking good because of the one I borrowed from. So it's like it is so much better as opposed to Genshin relics, which you can only use your own relics, of course. And every character needs their own fucking set, as opposed to Uma Musume, where most characters can probably borrow from the same set. Like Oguri Cap is compatible with most people, it feels. So like I have a good Oguri Cap, almost everyone else is going to be able to use it. The only one who can't use it is Oguri herself. But if I manage to get a good legacy off of my Oguri Cap, I can actually inherit that to my Oguri now. So it's like you can feedback loop this shit kinda. Like it is a pain in the ass, don't get me wrong, but it's also like not required to even do well. It just makes things easier. As opposed to Genshin where it's like if I don't have the relic set, it's like you're not playing with half of the character's kit. Like Genshin is designed in a way where the weapons and the relics aren't improvements that you can pick and choose what you want. It's more like a if you don't use this, you're just not playing the game at all. So it's like it's just it feels like it's extra work tacked on to make it slower for you to actually get what you want as opposed to oh, like I have the full kit right now, and these things are modifiers that I can add onto my kit to make it more flexible or like more focused or like whatever, right? It's not like that in Genshin. Whereas in this one, it's like I can choose to focus on other stats. Obviously, most people are going to want to focus on stamina, power, and speed, but you can choose to whip max. You could do that, and it is not unviable, and strictly speaking, because you can get all the stats you need from other sources. Like it's a modifier. It's not like a determines the way you play the kind of shit. Like you can ignore most of the skills that you inherit too, because if you don't actually want to like min max a specific career, you get all the skills you need from hints and like cards. You don't need to inherit them. Plus, inheritance is RNG. You're not guaranteed to get the skill anyways. It's kind of yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways. Thank you forever. Okay. Is that Boise's hair done? For knits at least. Passable. I'll say it's good. Looks like it's time to go to Brooklyn. Right? Anything left? I'll add in this. I kind of want to do initial shades on her bikini as well because I feel like it would be hot. I feel like it would be kind of hot. Okay, what color do we make it? Oh, it's a white bikini. I was using La Pluma's swimsuit, I think, as a reference for white bikini. Because, you know. La Pluma and... Okay, so that's one of the La Plumas, but I don't like that one that much, the shading in that. Let me see if there's a better one I can find. Or it could also be one of these blue archive drawings. It's got to be a white one, though, because white is shaded differently than dark colors. Because it's usually considered more transparent a bit, right? So I gotta find a white swimsuit to look at reference. If I can't find one just scrolling, I'm just gonna look up La Pluma. I have so many tabs open, dude. What the hell? La Pluma Summer Flower. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna add leaning. See how many there are. There's not a lot. There's a couple. That one's not helpful. This, what is this? What the fuck is that? I don't need to see that. Okay, so I was wondering if it should be more skin tone or if it should be like. Okay, this one looks helpful. I'll use this one at least, the consistency that I wanted with her swimsuit was not for it to look like it's like glossy material per se, but for it to look more like it's half cloth, right? And so if it soaks with water, it should have a bit of transparency skin tone to it. That's what I want. Obviously, it's for the sex appeal. Now, it's going to not actually expose anything, obviously, but the goal, it's also going to be in direct sunlight, which means the top is going to be bright. Okay, this looks also decent ref. Let me pull, I think we have two, so La Pluma's tits are smaller than Boise's, so it's not going to be like a 100% match, but we don't need that. I just wanted to mostly get the color idea down. Then we can use like other drawings for the shape and that sort of like contouring idea. I could even use my own drawings. Did I ever do? Oh, I did do white bikinis before, kinda. Wow. This drawing is crazy. It's hard for me to imagine doing better than this. I'm looking at my old Summertime Union. Ah, man. Why am I shit at drawing? I'm so fucking garbage. Now. Okay, I think I get it. Basically, it should be kind of like a grayer, not saturated like red tone first. I use the round brush. That's wrong. It's too purple. That's too dark. Maybe a little bit up like here. Yeah, this is fine. This is good. This is what we want. So we want this to get our initial, just like where the shade kind of is. And then we blur it. And then we drag the colors around to harden the edge a little bit. Right. And then we switch to this brush, smaller, less, and we outline this part to give it a little more natural contouring or whatever, that kind of thing, right? On the upper, so it's going to be tightest around this segment, so it's going to have the least deep cuts here, and then here it'll have deeper cuts because it is looser and thus will be more wrinkly or something, I don't know, right? Up here it's looser than it is down there, against the skin, I mean. Yulin. Okay, and then this is just gonna blend. So I do this and that, and now we've blended the surfaces, kind of. I hope. This is just shading from there, and the bandana shade. Blend. Okay, so that's acceptable. I'm gonna shift the round over a bit. Yeah, that looks acceptable for now. This is a first cut, right? Offset needs to be done for the other side, but most of it's covered, so it's kind of whatever. The Uma Musume's being idols is like a very funny whiplash. Like, why do they gotta run these races and then they also gotta get up on stage and fucking perform? Like, that's crazy, man. They do everything. They make them do everything in this world. Okay. That's fine. And then this also needs that. Same treatment. It's not real, boys. She's also one. I think she's the only person who has given me a gift that wasn't like a direct family or friend in the past year. And that was for work, I suppose. But it also wasn't mandatory. I wasn't expecting anything per se. She's into the basic bitch kind of anime stuff. Totoro, Hello Kitty, or Chikawa probably even. But definitely not Uma Musume, Toho Project. I know it sounds weird, but it can actually be rationalized. Go, 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 go. On the other hand, are you? Warwork just posted his work in progress. Oh man, Warwork is not made a lot of progress. I thought I was doing bad. Brother has only drawn in 2 characters, and maybe that will be the only 2 he draws, Boise and Helena, sitting in chairs. That is all he has right now. No background progress at all. It's all blank. Oh god. Good luck, brother. We still got 2 weeks. Good luck. Holy. I thought I was doing bad, man. Hoops and Artico are done. I haven't really seen many other posts about it, but let me check the website. Who else is like submitted to the website? Gah. Arikos is up here, and it is probably gonna win. It's really good. It's really good, yeah. Wife's cute. Is that it? Is there only 11 submissions right now? Yeah, out of these, Ariko and Hoops are probably the best. What is this? That's fair, but like this looks nice, I guess, relatively speaking. It feels a little stretched. Like it feels like the image is supposed to be a little bit more what's it called? Tall. NJ by the poolside. Oh, that face is a little off. Sorry. I'm I'm not trying to be toxic, okay? Yeah, out of the ones that are submitted, these 11, Ariko. Yeah. Huh? This one's like fucking official art quality levels right now. How many cosplays are there? There's 14 posted at the moment. Excuse me. Ariko was thinking about cosplaying as well, I think, so we'll see. She hasn't posted anything there. I am not opposed to personally cosplaying. I just don't have any cosplays. I just don't have any. Like, I'm not opposed to wearing an outfit, right? But I gotta make that outfit, and I don't have the means to do that at this time. Feet. Warorg is drawing feet, brother. You gotta put a swimsuit on them. They are still currently basically naked. You gotta put something on them, brother. One day and 10 hours. 34 hours is the alleged work time on that. I wonder how long I've spent on this drawing. It's probably pretty high as well. Although it's also probably not as high as it should be. At the same time somehow, right? Okay, what do I think about doubling it? I think that's fine, yeah. Let's make it darker then. We always just need to do more contrast, be more bold with our coloring, I feel. I'll post, let me save a ver of this because I gotta share my progress now. Because he shared his progress. Oh, I wonder, does this fuck up the stream? Okay. 5. The 6th progress picture saved as of now. Whoopee. Blech. Alright, now it's time for the hair. The next hair. Where is Brooklyn official art? There you are. So Brooklyn's hair shading is like orange, red, brown, kind of. That's where that leans. Right. Like this right here. Let's see it. Could afford to. This is not bad. Could afford to be a little bit lighter, more red. We're gonna probably end up doubling it down later. We'll see. Okay, no. This is what we need to do. It needs to be desaturated initially, and I will adjust it and add saturation to specific sides because I think that's how it should be done. Something like this. Yeah, I think we should. Okay, we'll start it here, and then I will add another overlay after this to saturate it where I believe it needs the colors. Okay. I just stole most of these outfits from like other artwork to be fully like frank with you. I didn't come up with them. I say stole. It's maybe less of direct stealing and more like mix and matching. Because like, it's not like everything is from one set of like one character's outfit is not all from one source. It's like a mix of like this character and that character from various thing in different contexts. I put them all together, and now we got one outfit. And sometimes I might borrow aspects of this outfit for one character and then parts of the other parts for a different character, so it's like a different mix and match. XL. The XL means 40, it does not mean extra large, mind you. Brooklyn is, I mean, she's not that big. She's a cruiser, all of them are cruisers. Lewis is big for a cruiser, I think. Artistic freedom. They got the choice to do what they wish. Okay, where is Artico's Brooklyn? How did you render this character? Okay, I need to saturate this a bit more, I'd say. Yeah, that's fine. Never mind. I'll saturate it like this. And then when we do like super darks and like second darks, we'll make it desatch from there. That's also fine. That's an acceptable alternative to what I was probably originally going to do. From here, though, we do need to darken it, I'd say. Just a bit. Just a tad. Yeah, that is how it works. I know. Although if you'd seen some of the stuff that I'm borrowing from, like this. Phoenix is probably the only one that I can't point at any specific reference for who I borrowed from, but it is fine. Like, okay, this is Mostiva, this is Nia, this is, I don't know the characters' names, it's some fucking OCs, I think, mainly. This is Towa, this is Amiya, and this is La Pluma. I can point at all of them except for Phoenix. I don't. Phoenix is not specifically anything, but it's just pretty much just a combination of like the tank tops from Brooklyn's as well. I don't know. I don't know. And then yeah. Meow. I don't know if it really takes a good eye to pick fitting outfits. Oh, okay. That's don't misinterpret that. I don't know if having a good eye to pick fitting outfits, quote unquote, is really that impressive of a skill. Obviously, you need some level of like comprehension, I guess, to pick out decent stuff. Yes, but it's not that hard, right? Like, it also isn't actually that hard or impressive. I like copying or like borrowing ideas is not something that I would consider impressive in general because it's not that hard to recognize good ideas. What's hard is coming up with them, right? So like I don't think it's much of a anything to be praised or like called out for in the general as far as like as a good thing. I could point out all of the things that I used as reference, and I'm sure you would immediately understand even if I didn't tell you which thing was to which, because it's pretty blatant. Like, it's pretty blatant. It might be like not obvious if you don't see it side by side, but if you did get a side by side, you would probably immediately get it. So I don't know. I don't know. Hololive Treasure Mountain's a multiplayer game? I didn't even know that. What like is it? I guess Suika game is multiplayer. Like you can do PvP. It might be the same kind of deal. Because I can't imagine it's a cooperative. How would you do that, right? It's got to be PvP of some kind. Why does Boise not like people seeing her mouth? I don't like. It's not even her face. It's just her mouth, right? That's the only part she covers. She doesn't like cover her eyes or like wear a mask everywhere. She wears a mask, but not like a full face mask. Just one that as long as it covers her mouth, she's fine. Why? Like, what's wrong with her mouth? As far as I know, it looks normal, isn't it? As far as I can tell. She just doesn't like it being seen. Is that like, is that lore-wise or historically based on some kind of thing? Like, I know Boy Z was allegedly some kind of half-submersible type ship where she could like kind of go underwater, and that's why she has the whole snorkeling gear looking ass riggings where she can, go underwater. I guess that's not actually something that she can do in gameplay, but that is something that they allude to in her lines. Where like, yeah, she does go underwater, dives sometimes, and then she might startle people if they don't expect it when she just pops out of the water somewhere. Right. Like diving is something that I don't think the most ships do because I think if I had to guess, like the ships are probably afraid of going underwater. Not like submarines are okay with it because they are meant to, but ships are not supposed to be under the water, right? So if I had to guess, most ships are just naturally afraid of that. Boise has the capabilities to do it, but why would she be afraid of showing her mouth? Like, what causes that to be a thing? I haven't heard of this trope before, although I wouldn't be surprised if it is like one that has existed. It's just Boise is the only character I know of has it right now. Like, specifically not showing your mouth. I don't really get it. It's cute. I mean, obviously, like, wearing face masks and that kind of, like, aesthetic is, what's it called? What's it fucking called? Jedi K? They wear face masks a lot, right? Jedi K aesthetic? I think so. I'm gonna kill myself. How are you doing? How are you doing, chat? It is 5:23, so we have been drawing for about an hour and a half now. So anime time is, we're partially halfway through to anime time. You know, what you do realize if you get into like a rhythm and a groove is that when you are working consistently for like a period of time, like an hour and a half, you can get a lot done in that time. I get like next to no work done at Amazon because I don't actually do like I probably would get a lot of trouble for saying this if anyone heard. I don't really do all that much work. I feel like I just convince people that I do work sometimes. I can't say I don't think I've been very convincing these past couple of months, but at least in the past, somehow like people like Tyler are convinced at least that I do work. Like I don't do shit. What have I done recently? I've run these expensive flows and I just wait for them to run. And then when they're done running, I mark it as done. And then what? Like I didn't do anything while they were running. I just started them pretty much. I made the minimal change that I need to get it running. Did I accidentally? No, we're fine. I thought I accidentally colored in some with the white. A white on a multiply layer doesn't show up, so I was trying to see if I could make something appear by freezing the pixels and then coloring it not white. Just a method to my madness. There's an explanation for everything. There's an explanation. That doesn't mean it's rational, but there's an explanation. White hair tends to like extra streaks and shit. So that's why I've been doing all these. Once again, reason exists. Like, instead of just doing... Like, if this was blue hair, I would probably be satisfied doing something like that, right? We're not doing that here. We're doing this, then cutting it back, and then doing it again, then cutting it back, and then we flip it and then do it from this side. And then we have to cut clean straights here in the middle. Something like this is fine. I still Yeah, see? That looks fine, doesn't it? I could have done that with blue hair too, to be fair. But I just probably wouldn't have. White hair needs more density to feel like there's something there. Blue is already darker colored. Once again, there's a reason for it all. And then we double it up here. Because it's the tip. I don't know. Tips are supposed to be lighter usually, but that's like a hard set rule. How does Brooklyn... Oh yeah, Brooklyn's hair tips are blue. Okay. I'm going to shade some of this, but I'm going to leave some of it so I can put blue on it first and then come back and shade it proper, maybe. Bum bum ba da 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 da. The Toad's Factory remix in Mario Kart World is good. I haven't played Mario Kart World myself. I have actually watched a decent bit of content on it. Just I don't have a Switch 2. I'm not going to be playing it anytime soon. I wanted to know how it looked, what general thoughts were. Game looks pretty fucking good actually. On like it looks super good on the racetracks, and the open world aspect seems really fun purely for people who like exploring an open world in a sense, right? There is very little reward for exploring it. Basically, it's just the sense of like knowing an accomplishment. There's no action, like the P-switch things, as far as I'm aware, don't really give you much of anything. They just exist. They're like mini tutorial challenges, almost. Like some of them are tutorials, some of them are challenges. I guess it's like shrines, right? So they kind of, some of them might be intended to introduce you to mechanics that you'll never use, or they might actually just be like testing your knowledge and seeing if you can do it. Either way, like it seems neat, but I will not pretend like I am the kind of person that it's made for. I don't think I would really spend a lot of time in the open world on its own. And then the straightaway tracks for like knockout tour type shit is kind of whatever to me. It doesn't look that good. The race tracks look phenomenal. And like some of the things like the water physics look pretty good, like pretty interesting. I'm gonna be real with you. Like overall the game looks solid, but it's $80. It is $80. And when you got such good games like Tunic, which are $30 and like get sales, it starts to be like a big question to me. It's like, are games actually really worth that much? Like even as good as Mario Kart World could be, there are so many really good games that are just indie, and because of that, they are so much cheaper. But they're so good, right? Like price does not equate to good. It just equates to how much. Uh, I guess some part of it is prestige, and part of it is probably also related to the supposed development cost of a game. Indies are cheaper to make, and they usually use clever techniques to like save on costs in some way or another. While big games like GTA 6 or whatever, like those kinds of big budget studio games, just throw more money at it, throw more memory and space, throw more everything, just make it bigger. We don't need to optimize because we can just tell the end user to get a better computer. That kind of logic behind their development process. It's kind of ass, isn't it? We can make all these options that will never run on 95% of computers, because you'll have to turn the graphics down anyways, and for it to get like a semi-stable frame rate or anything. But look at how good it looks in the trailers. Think about it. Like imagine you're playing looked like this. Now go play your toned down version of this game, because no actual realistic fucking human being can run it as high quality as we do, because we didn't optimize for shit. Like So to some degree, I guess the criticism here that I'm trying to make is that it feels like some of these AAA big games, it's less about the game being actually good and more about the idea of being a fan of something that is considered good, whether or not it actually is good. Now, I'm not saying GTA 6 is going to be bad. If I had to guess, it's going to be a great game overall. But the whole like optimization bullshit and then the price tag might be it's hard to justify, I feel, when you got really good indie games that are like a fraction of the cost and probably don't lag your computer at all. So, that's what I'm thinking. Like bigger doesn't actually necessarily mean it is much better. But it definitely costs more. Alright, blue tip hair. Why does she have blue tips? Is this canon? I never really noticed these actually. But they're like bright blue. It's not even like a subtle thing. It's like this is probably close to accurate actually. If I think, it fades in, so I'll use. How did they make it look like they were so bright? These blue tips are supposed to be really bright. But if I just make it lighter. I can't just tone it over there. Maybe this is a more accurate color, I don't know. Maybe it should be on its own separate layer. I don't know. We'll brighten it up with the light layer later, I guess. Yeah. No. Wait. Yes. I was gonna say the upper hair here doesn't have the highlights as much, but it does. One of the sides does at least. I still don't understand why they have it. If I make it hard light, and then I turn it to like this. Yo, maybe this is the right way to do it. What the fuck? Okay, yeah, this is the right way to do it. It's gotta be like a weird way of lighting it. Yeah. Okay. Brooklyn's hair. Oh! I dropped my pen. I hope it didn't crack. It didn't crack. I didn't like fall from a super far distance, but hope it didn't crack. Looks okay. Like it didn't land on its like tip or anything, so I think it's fine. I don't know. Fuck. Anyways, Brooklyn's hair. Yeah, Brooklyn's needs this because it's a lighter color. It needs like a slight red tone saturation multiplier that we apply vaguely over this entire thing. Maybe it could be even darker. Am I doing this right, chat? I like listening to the shit from Toho Project. I'll spend money where it matters. What are you talking about? Mia no corazón. What are you doing? I think we're okay for now. Alright, this is the initials for you. And in general, I think we could actually darken the entire bit of hair. Just a little bit, not a lot. Just enough that I can actually add whites and it will brighten it because it's pretty bright at the moment. Okay, for both Boise and Helena to complete their initials, we actually gotta render their hat in because at least make the bottom side of it darker. Right? Like that's like minimum we have to do this shit. Alright, how do we render a... This is Alchemaniac art, I think, right? Yeah, Alchemaniac. Yeah, well, you will follow this logic. So first, big sort of desatch lower color tone that we just apply. More desatch. Yeah, this is fine. We apply it to the bottom side like this. Make sure to be close-ish with the like ridges in here. Apply it mostly. I'll clean it up in a bit. I'll smooth it out later. For now, we just get the application done. Okay, applied. Let's smooth it. Okay. That first. And then we do like a rough-ish application on the top that will cover one side. The light is coming from front, so let's say this side is the rough application, halfway down, partway down. If Blunts is vouching for the Horse Girl anime, I will give it a shot. I will take like his opinion somewhat higher than like I'll at least have a little more faith in his opinion because I know he likes Xenoblade and I do too. I'm just doing this wrong. Give me a minute. That's fine. And then the flowers themselves cast a small amount of shade. Doesn't have to be super accurate, just something to show that they have depth to it is good enough. This side can be a bit lighter though because it is towards the top of the hat. So we airbrush it. We airbrush the big shades at least. Okay. Now that I am here, I think the straw hat's a little too red. Needs to be more yellow, but also darker. Real such. Yeah. I think. What do you think? Or we could just make it desat darker and red. Something like this is probably acceptable. We can do opposite tone color shit later. This is initials. Alright, let's get the Boise one done as well. I'm already tired, dude. I have no stamina when it comes to drawing anymore. I used to be able to draw for so long. Okay, let's get you to bed, Grandpa. I used to draw like 5 hours straight and be fine. Gah. I'm killing myself. Like a old retired racehorse. Okay, give me a minute. I need a break. It's almost 2 hours now of drawing. We have not made a lot of progress. Stand up, knees apart, arms up, reach towards the sky, and slowly down. And then lean, try to touch the ground. I ran 3 miles today. I don't know why, but I felt really fucking tired afterwards. I held an 8-minute pace, apparently, on average. So maybe that's why. I've done better though. Last week, Monday, I think, or some like a little while ago. It was a Saturday or Sunday. It was a couple 1 to 2 weeks ago. I was able to run a 5 kilometer, which is just slightly more than 3 miles, and I held like a 7 minute 47, I think, pace, which is a good amount faster than what I did today. I don't know how I did that. Like, I don't fucking know how I did that, because I felt like I was holding a okay pace, but I was like super dead tired today after I run, and I was still quite a bit slower. I didn't even like do anything prior. I like was running fresh. It wasn't like I was tired or anything. And I had let myself rest for 2 days because the last time I ran was on Wednesday. So Thursday, Friday were off. Saturday today morning I ran. fluctuations in your body performance. Also, it was fairly windy and cool out. Like it felt good relatively good temperature wise. I think it's a little humid, so like sweat still doesn't evaporate perfectly. It's not humid, but it is not like dry to the point where sweat evaporates easily either. So I don't know. I wonder. Cold temperatures, you should be able to perform better to some degree, up to like a certain degree. I hear 40-degree Fahrenheit is about peak performance for runners. Don't know if that's how true that is. Like, don't know how much variance from that there is. Uh, yeah. Oh yeah, Warwick draws on Krita. You don't got vector layers on Krita. Vector layers carry my ass. My line art. I can't even say that. That's actually not even true. I've already proven that I can do line art without vector layers, and arguably it might be better when I do it without vectors because I then actually pay attention to line thickness modulation. The problem is just that it takes more time and effort, but like I can still do it. It's not that don't have the knowledge or capability. I just don't choose to. Yeah, and I think the amount where it takes longer to do is because I don't do it, so I don't have the familiarity as much. But I feel like it can definitely work down to be about the same effort as what I currently do to begin with. So I don't know. Hmm. One thing that I do prefer about vectors is that they offer a lot more flexibility for fixing mistakes and issues, readjusting it a lot. With regular line art on non-vector layers, it just takes a lot more effort. Like, I'm gonna stab my fucking self. I'm gonna explode. I'm gonna fucking die. I'm gonna fucking slam my head into the wall. I'm gonna fucking break my legs. I'm gonna fucking throw myself out the window. I'm gonna fucking shut an elevator door on my hand. I'm gonna fucking. I have heard a horror story about elevator where the close function didn't detect a person's arm when they were like trying to hold it open via that, and it closed on them, and then the elevator inside moves, which would snap their fucking arm off. God. Chinese kid in the elevator. Very smart, calm, cool, and collected. He presses all the buttons and then braces for impact. And then the next guy walks in right afterwards. That video. I don't know why that's playing in my mind right now. What's wrong with China? You think Chinese? The reason that this kid was calm and collected was because in China, elevators are all death traps, actually, and so from a young age they are taught to deal with this kind of problem. Motherfucker. You think China is some kind of like hellish land compared to the US? This place that votes to make the rich richer and to get rid of support for people who need it. Bro, this fucking land. The United States of America? This place, bro. It's so hard to get the motivation to draw for long periods again. I will say today my arm hasn't really been hurting too bad. So it's entirely just my mental that doesn't want to touch this any further. Gah. I haven't been this like mentally drained in drawing for a while. I had motivation for maybe, I don't know, a little while. And then some rated 18 things on my Pixiv feed. Soulless. Before sex. Before sex. Okay. Dude. So this is a drawing, image set of a girl and a guy, I guess, taking a shower together, and the caption is before sex, right? If I'm not mistaken, it's kind of hard to see because of soap, but I think the girl is holding the guy's cock, but it's like lathered and covered in soap, so you can't really see the cock itself. I think that's what's happening. Have you ever gotten soap in your like penis before? It fucking hurts. You don't want that. You really do not want that. Like, for the guy's sake, I hope that is not where the cock is being held. But it looks like it probably is. That's kind of concerning to me. I'm gonna be real with you. You do not want to get soap in your dick. What, this is Nagisa from Blue Aka, and this is just ass shot. Her wearing like a swimsuit. I just get a low profile ass shot. What is that? Brother, I'm so tired. I didn't even do anything today and I'm tired. I woke up at like 11. I have legitimately done fucking nothing. Ugh. Okay, if I were to continue drawing, what do I do next? I guess since I initialized Boise zucchini, I can initialize Helena and Brooklyn's shirt and jacket and stuff and all that as well. And Boise's jacket, I suppose. And her bandana. That's it. That probably should be initialized. What if I just like did initials and then submitted it as is and I didn't render it fully? What if I just half-assed this drawing? Guys, I'm fucking dying right now. I'm tired. I'm so tired. This purple hair needs to be lighter. This shouldn't blend in with the blue like that. Give me a minute. Oh, this. Yeah, make it like here. That's fine. That's good. Oh my god. I actually just want to go lie down right now. I'm trying to muster up the willpower to go draw again. Fuck. If I do end up going to lie down, I suppose I'll just end stream now. And I've said it every day so far and never once have I done it, but maybe I'll come back later. Maybe. Okay. I think we got a little bit of progress, and yeah, I might come back later, might not, we'll see. Until next time, fellers.